Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I think many of you, if not most of you who are watching me, who have been watching me for a while, know that I question a lot of things. I question almost everything. And some things don't sit right with me. When they don't, I address it. And I like you, my audience, to give me your opinion, how you see it, what you think about it. Because maybe you will highlight something that I didn't pay attention to or I'm not aware, or maybe I can point at something that you're not aware of. I hope I can sometimes. But in today's video, I will bring very different topics to you. I want to start this video with the memorial that was dedicated to Charlie Kirk. It took place yesterday. I'm not gonna play you a lot of videos from that, but I want to point at something that does not sit well with me. Then we will go to Poland, and I will bring to you an article that is describing the current very, I don't know what word to use. I wouldn't say dangerous because Polish-Russian relationships, they don't really exist at this moment at all. Kind of like US was during Biden, or maybe even worse. But there is an attempt to take away the building in which the embassy of the Russian Federation resides in Warsaw and move that embassy to a different location. So I will be bringing to you those details that are completely no diplomacy. Very stupid move, unnecessary move. If this goes through, I don't know. And I will show you where's the embassy, how it looks like, etc. Then we're gonna go to the sabotage that has been going on, not just about the drones, but several other things in Poland, with involvement, most of the times, if not all the times, of Ukrainians. No surprise, because that's how you convince Poland to fully step into the role of sacrificing the people. And let me see if I have anything else. No, I have the post from FBI that I'm going to read to you because I have been watching Candace Owens' videos, all of them that she put out lately after the assassination. And some people say he's still alive. I feel he's not alive. I feel he actually has been sacrificed. The question is, who gave the order to sacrifice that man? That's a big question, isn't it? So let's start with this topic, with the memorial. But before, I'm sorry guys, I don't want to forget. I want to say thank you to everyone who has been donating on PayPal in the last few days. And that is to Alan, Patrick, and Andrea, and also Fred. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you guys. And to everyone who is joining me on locals or supporting my work by becoming my Patreon member, huge thank you. So let's start with this. Let's first go to this moment in which, this is at the end of the memorial, when Trump is calling Erika Kirk, Charlie's Kirk wife, on stage to join him there to close that memorial. I have been watching, not the entire memorial, it was really long, but I've watched pretty much most of the speeches that were given. And of course, my favorite, well, if you can say favorite, my most, the speech that really was the most powerful was Erika's speech, in my opinion. I think Tucker has given really good speech as well. And I have to say that the second part of Rubio's speech was pretty good, in my opinion. But now, something that I didn't watch last night because it was really late, so I went to sleep. And today, this morning, I woke up and I saw the ending of it. I haven't watched the entire speech from Trump, about half of it. So today I wanted to finish it. And when I was finishing it, I saw when he called her on stage. And then this happened. So let's take a look and then we are going to ask some questions. Okay, so that was this moment. I want to be very respectful of everyone's feelings here. This is very sensitive topic, okay? We know about it. It's very sensitive, but I pay attention to every detail, guys. That's who I am, and I just want to understand something. Trump was very emotional. She was very emotional. I want to start with first saying when she went on stage by herself, she looked quite different to me than she used to look. You know, this may be due to the stress and absolutely heartbreak, losing weight, being swollen, or whatever is the case here as far as emotions go, right? But what I don't understand is this. Okay, you see the hand gesture. I don't understand why she did that. This is very, very specific hand gesture. I don't see people, and again, I want to be very respectful because I find her incredibly sincere as far as her love to Charlie and as far as her message to the world, especially with that speech yesterday. Let me close this for now. I find her very sincere and I find her very strong and very powerful woman, but I don't understand why she did that. Why I'm starting with this is because I question everything, and sometimes those little details, they might affect the big picture of things. You know what I mean? I grew up Christian Catholic, okay? There's a lot of flaws and imperfections with, I mean, religions have been created to divide us. That's my opinion. But I believe in Jesus, and to me, Jesus is someone who I choose to listen to and follow as much as I can to my best abilities. Of course, I'm not perfect, but never ever in my life when I was attending church or other, places where you worship Jesus, I was seeing this gesture. So I know that the dark forces have hijacked a lot of things, if not everything. They reverse it. So maybe what used to be good was turned into bad, and now what used to be bad is good now. But I never seen anyone doing this at church, someone who believes in Jesus, right? So I struggle with this because I don't want to look at her in a way like she's evil. She's not evil to me at all, but why she made that gesture. So let's look at this symbol. But before we do this, I want to show you, I'm not the only one who is questioning this, because when I was trying to research this, I came across this article, and this is on Hindustan Times. It says, Erika Kirk makes hand gesture at Charlie Kirk's photo after hugging Trump. What does it mean? So here is this moment. And someone here says, sorry, but why did Erika make the devil horn hand gesture at the end with Trump? I watched the entire memorial and thought it was very heartfelt and speeches were moving, but why that from her? It wasn't a rock concert. I'm truly perplexed that someone says on X. And I agree with this 100% because it was really moving ceremony. You could feel the spirit of God, the energy there. But then at the end of it, she does that. And you know, of course, we are quite familiar with this gesture from the rock concerts, right? I don't go to rock concerts. I don't do those gestures. But before we finish the topic of this, I really want to, guys, I want to invite you to question everything, because I don't think nothing is really as it seems to be. And we really have to use our discernment and be very present and clear-minded to see through the illusions. So let's look at this first. What does this say? What's the meaning? Well, maybe before, what's the meaning? Here are some other people doing those hand gestures. So this is the same symbol, right? Is it? This is George Bush. You have Clinton here doing this. You have the celebrities who, you know, worship evil. I'm not saying she does. Again, guys, I'm very respectful, but I just want to understand. So Obama here, clearly, you see Obama right here. Beyonce and all the other signs. Well, here she's not making this, but here is one very powerful picture. Let me just scroll down. Where was it? 1 second. This one. You see with Eminem? Devil horns, right? And one eye. Okay, this one is pretty crazy, right? Okay, so let's quickly go through this, what it means, and then we go to FBI. Here is explanation from, not always, most of the time, not telling the truth, Wikipedia, but some things might be accurate. So if we go to the very origin of it, like when it used to be good, allegedly, it says in Hatha Yoga, a similar hand gesture with the tips of the middle and ring finger touching the thumb is known as Apana Mudra, if I said this the right way, a gesture believed to rejuvenate the body. In Indian classical dance forms, it symbolizes the lion. Okay, so one more. In Karana Mudra is seen as an apotropic gesture to expel demons, remove negative energy, and ward off evil. All right, so the origin, apparently, was the good one, right? But I don't know if she was using this with this meaning in mind. Then we go down, there are many other meanings, and at the end of it, you had the Gene Simons, who was the leader, I think, of the rock group Kiss, who attempted to claim the devil horns hand gesture for his own. He even filed an application 2017 to patent it as his trademark, etc. And then you go down and you have even this gesture belongs to the gang. It's a gang signal. The sign of the horns, hand gesture, is used in criminal gang subcultures to indicate membership or affiliation with Mara Salvatrucha. The significance is both the resemblance of an inverted devil horns to the Latin letter M, and in the broader demonic connotation of fierceness, and non-conformity. So I just want to ask you guys, because I'm struggling with this. I know it's a long intro as far as this, but to me, everything is important. As far as when my attention goes somewhere and I stop and I feel discomfort, I want to understand what the heck is going on. So now let's stay on this topic. I went to Candace Owens' Instagram. And in the stories, she puts the updates about this investigation, right? Because she's on it and she's trying to get as much to the truth. I think she will ultimately get to the truth of this, especially in this case with her very close friend, almost brother. Like she said, it wouldn't be Candace without Charlie. So let's look at the latest post of from FBI, from Kash Patel, who was the director of FBI, in regards to the investigation. So this is from, I think, today or yesterday. FBI Director Kash Patel says on X, as the director of the FBI, I am committed to ensuring the investigation into Charlie Kirk assassination is thorough and exhaustive, pursuing every lead to its conclusion. I'm sorry if I mispronounced some words, by the way. The full weight of America's law enforcement agencies are actively following the evidence that has emerged, but our efforts extend beyond initial findings. We are examining every facet of this assassination. We are meticulously investigating theories and questions, including the location from where the shot was taken, the possibility of accomplices, the angle of the shot and bullet impact, how the weapon was transported, hand gestures observed as potential signals near Charlie at the time of his assassination, and visitors to the alleged shooter residence in the hours and days leading up to September 10th, 2025. I will continue with this, but I want you to know, those of you who have been watching Candace's live streams, the last 3 or 4 videos, I'm not sure, 3 or 4 she put out, she was talking exactly about those things. And she said, this is what we did it, guys, because she really did a lot of research and a lot of people were sending her information. So all that he is mentioning here was actually mentioned in her videos, in her live streams. Some details are known today, while others are still being pursued, yes, to ensure every possibility is considered. Our primary focus is to complete this investigation and deliver justice. To protect the integrity of the investigation and subsequent prosecution, we cannot release every piece of information we have to the public right now. We will ensure every question is addressed at the appropriate moment. Regarding specific details, such as questions about the plane that allegedly turned off its transporter after departing from an airport near the assassination site, we can share updates when answers are confirmed. Amazing. This is exactly what actually I was talking about too, like right after the assassination. So this is all what people have done. After interviews with the pilot and consultation with the FAA, we determined the transporter was not turned off. Incomplete flight data in rural areas caused the apparent gap. The entire FBI mourns the loss of Charlie Kirk. We will not rest until justice is served, and our investigation into this assassination will continue until every question is answered. So, here are my thoughts on this. Well, first and foremost, everything he was talking about, let me actually read you. This is from Candace. She says, the best way to honor Charlie is with the truth. What we witnessed was a coordinated assassination followed by media agents embarking on psychological warfare against the people for noticing. We will have more explosive coverage tomorrow, so that is today. But the reality is this. When the left and right unite and demand answers, we become a powerful force. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned. So now the question is this. They are aware of how much people are investigating, how many things people are seeing. And there are 2 scenarios with this. Either he has to put this out to calm down the public, that he is aware of what people are seeing, and he's confirming this. And then they will continue and they will wrap it up again, this case, with something. Or he really means it. I don't know. Do I trust? No, not really. But I trust that Candace Owens will get to the truth. So now let's go to Poland, everyone. And please leave me the comments with what do you think about this entire situation. I really want to know your thoughts. let's go to Poland. What the heck is going on? What kind of shenanigans again? So we have this. 1 second, let me find it. Law and Justice. So we have the party of Law and Justice who wants to move the Russian embassy. The right moment to end the abnormal situation. Law and Justice, we call it PiS, which is Prawo i Sprawiedliwość, will submit a draft resolution to the Sejm, that's Polish Parliament, on the expropriation of the Russian embassy in Warsaw and the change of its location. Law and Justice President Jarosław Kaczyński said on Wednesday. As he emphasized, currently the embassy of Russian Federation is located in close proximity to the, for example, chancellery of the Prime Minister and the Belvedere. And I will show you exactly on the map. I've been near this embassy many times. You know, I've applied for visa. It's actually next building close to it. So let's read more. Peace. 1 second. Can I close this here? Okay. Law and Justice, sorry guys, Law and Justice wants to move the Russian embassy, which is currently located at Belvederska Street. During a conference on Wednesday, Jarosław Kaczyński informed that Law and Justice had prepared a draft resolution of the same Polish Parliament on the expropriation of the Russian embassy in Warsaw. We will submit it to the Sejm in a moment, he added. And he stressed that decision on a possible change in the location of the Russian embassy can only be made by the government. Kaczynski said that such an action is necessary because the diplomatic mission of the Russian Federation at Belvederska Street is located in close proximity to the Ministry of National Defense, true, the Chancellery of the Prime Minister and the Belvedere, which is the presidential residence. We believe that this is the right moment to simply put an end to this abnormal situation, Kaczynski said, adding that the hopes that the announcement resolution will receive the support of the Sejm. The President of Law and Justice emphasized that this action is necessary in the face of Russia's aggressive actions, drone attacks, or acts of sabotage. Let's not go into those drones. So now let me show you exactly where is this embassy, okay? So you have an awareness. Well, first let me show you, where it is. 1 moment. So we're gonna walk the streets together, guys. Okay. This is the embassy here. Right here is this building. This is the Russian embassy. The name of the street is, I think it's Avenue. I'm not sure if it's the street, but it's called Belvederska. That's the name, because of the name of the presidential palace that's called Belvedere. However, on the street sign here, name is changed. Just in this area where is the Russian embassy, and actually, I want to walk you down a little bit here. Here is the Russian consulate. So if you keep on going down, right here, in this building is where you want to apply for a visa. You go to this little building. And here the name of the street changes. Just in this area, it's called Ofiar Rosyjskiej Agresji, which means the victims of the Russian aggression. So just this part has a different name. So let's keep on going. We are on this avenue. We are going to, here is the embassy as we are passing it. So now you have an idea what they are talking about. Right here on your left, you start to see all those military advertisements and all this equipment that Poland has purchased, took a loan for, etc., etc. So here you see all of this, because right behind this fence is the Ministry of Defense of Poland. So here we are, right here in this building. You see what I'm circulating is the Defense Ministry. And right across the street, here is the presidential palace that is called the Belvedere. This is the very place where recently, where the Polish president was in France, the drones were flying over. You remember? I told you about it. So this is the street. Here is Łazienki Park. So if you keep on going further, beautiful park, by the way, I highly recommend you to visit if you're ever in Warsaw. But the long story short, in this very, very small area, well, small, I mean, in the same area, we have three major things. We have the presidential palace, where President of Poland, this one, resides, Nawrocki. We have the Ministry of Defense, right here, this building. And right behind it, you see the next building is the embassy of the Russian Federation. So what does it mean if they will move it? How they can do it? How they can take this building away and say, get out of this building and go to a different address? I think, I'm not an expert, but I think this particular real estate, this property, this spot, this is the, I wouldn't say the land, but that territory is the territory of the Russian Federation. So if you force them to get out of it, it's almost like you're invading the Russian Federation. I don't know how the diplomatic relations go as far as this, but this is not a smart move at all, in my opinion. Absolutely not. And what will be the consequences? I think ultimately the consequences is to completely cut off any form of, well, we don't have communication going, but any form of discussion or anything to do with Poland. There is no willingness from Polish side to even present the evidence of those drones. Many times the Russian Federation was, the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs, I told you, Zakharova was talking about it, that they are open to the discussion and analyzing the data, what happened, what are the facts, how does it look like, and all of it, to find out the truth that we kind of already know. But there was no reaction from the Polish side, because of course that's all intentional and we know it. And I want to show you one more thing here, just to fully close this topic as far as that approach to Russia and Warsaw in that area. So let's see, one moment. Do I have it here, guys? Just bear with me. No, but I will open it. So let me do this. I want to show you now. Okay. When you go to the images right here, that's what I want to show you one video. So not a long time ago, I don't remember exactly when this was. But they have painted the street in Ukrainian flag. One moment, let me just find it. Okay, so this was in August this year. The activists have, and this is actually, I think it's still there, that they painted this entire area with yellow and blue Ukrainian flag. And the officials of Warsaw, they allow it. I mean, you cannot do something like this just like that. You should be punished for it. It doesn't matter what flag you put on the street, on the ground. But clearly that was convenient, right? Wasn't it? So let's move to, since we are on the topic of Ukraine and Ukrainians, let's move to two things. The first one is we had a lot of situations that can turn into something dangerous. That actually we have a lot of dangerous situations in Poland, a lot of fires, a lot of explosions in places like all of a sudden. And as it was promised by some activists from Ukraine, and I played that video a while back, what she was saying, that woman from Ukraine, she said, if certain things are not going according to the plan as far as supporting them. Polish people are going to see a lot of fires, etc., etc. So we had another form of sabotage. Now they are twisting this around. Besides the aspect of drones flying over the presidential palace, that Ukrainian was part of it, besides the aspect of the fake drones or drones that for sure were from Russia. And now we have the fires, and now we have this. This is in Krakow. Let me read you from a few days ago, I think 2 days ago, about 2 days ago. Let's see. So, sabotage, what kind of this time? Has the safety of Krakow's water supply has been compromised? Police deny. Well, they can deny, but here is the story. A few days ago, on Radio Kraków, the company's security director, General Marian Janicki, alerted that 2 Ukrainians had entered the facility in order to make photographic and film documentation. There were suggestions of an attempt of sabotage. The police do not confirm this. He pointed out that person, he said, they were immediately intercepted by our services and handed over to law enforcement agencies. This is testing the services. It wasn't a stupid joke. When someone flies a drone over the Prime Minister's office, this is actually not Prime Minister, this was the President office, Belvedere of the Ministry of National Defense, they check the vigilance and reaction of the state. So police detained the 25-year-olds a day later, but in connection with drug possessions. They explained to the uniformed officers that they were not aware where they were. The suspicion that they photographed and filmed the object was also not confirmed. So this is very dangerous, actually, everyone, because this is the water supplies to the city of Kraków. You understand what this means, right? I know you do. Let's go to Nawrocki, Polish president, who is now in New York City, who's in United States. He's going to speak at the UN. He went there with his wife. But there was something that took place there. And you know, I lost my trust in him, but I'm just going to report to you another strange incident. Someone who looked like a priest but wasn't priest, who wanted to come closer to Nawrocki. Let's read this article. I just came across this today. An unusual incident at the meeting with Nawrocki in the USA. The services took care of him. So I'm like, took care of what? What's going on? During Karol Nawrocki's visit to the National Shrine of Our Lady of Częstochowa in Pennsylvania, this is one of the biggest Polish populations in the US, an incident occurred. The man dressed as a priest was led out of the altar by a priest and then handed over to the services. So on the night of Saturday to Sunday, Polish time, the presidential plane landed at JFK Airport in New York. On Sunday evening, Nawrocki will meet with Polish diaspora at the National Shrine of Our Lady of Częstochowa, also called American Częstochowa, in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, Fact, that's the name of the portal, reported that an incident took place on the sidelines of the visit. At some point, to the surprise of those gathered, a man dressed in a, I don't know this word, chasuble, was led out of the front of the altar by a priest. And then the services took care of him, the Daily described. As we read, after the interrogation, the man was released. As it turned out, it was not a priest, but a layman dressed as him, who had ordinary clothes under his liturgical vestments, including jeans and sports shoes. So what do you think? What are they trying to do? Remove Nawrocki too? I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he is not quite fully on their side, and that's the problem. So now I want to end this video with a Polish accent that I just came across, and this is also connected to Charlie Kirk. So let me play this short clip with Charlie Kirk that he's actually mentioning Poland. I was not aware of it, that he had some great-grandparents who immigrated from Poland. And I'm just thinking, what year could it be? Maybe early 1900s? The big migration, maybe after First World War. I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a listen. This video is it's interesting that I came across this now, but let's take a listen to Charlie.
Originally, my great-grandparents came here from Poland legally. They didn't jump the border. Well, do you realize what happens? Like, you go across a border. You realize a metaphor, right?
Yeah, I grew up like 15 minutes from the border.
Okay, so then why is it that 95% of Border Patrol agents support building a wall? Wouldn't they know best how to secure our border?
Where are you pulling that metric? 95%?
The Border Patrol Association.
I've never heard that metric.
Okay, you can fact check anything I want. I encourage you guys to look it up. I'm sorry? One second. I want to.
It's 95% seems.
95% of Border Patrol agents.
Yeah, you can though.
Okay, but again, type in 95% Border Patrol agents.
That are dictated by now.
Well, okay, again, facts don't care about your feelings,
I
but
believe that it's a fact. Wait, facts?
don't care about feelings. Well, do facts bother you? Do facts bother you that 13,000 kids are trafficked across the border every single year, or millions of guns, or that 90% of heroin and fentanyl in this country come across the southern border, or that MS-13 in America is growing, which is predominantly illegal immigrants? Does that bother you?
I'm just more of the 95% of.
95% of Border Patrol agents support building the wall. Art Del Curo, who is the vice president of the Border Patrol Association, has publicly said it and released that data. You can ask yourself, what percentage of Border Patrol agents support building the wall?
I support something that helped my job security too.
Okay, but Border Patrol agents are threatened and on the front line.
So I have to say one thing, not the Polish accent here, but you really have to have a lot of patience and self-control and self-mastery in order to carry on conversations with people that almost intentionally, if not for sure intentionally, don't want to agree with you. I know that most of the times you just react and you're like, I'm done with this, or, you know, you get angry, you get frustrated, but it's amazing, you know. I'm not saying he was perfect, but that was not easy to talk to people who are completely either not agreeing with you or brainwashed or not open-minded to even hear the other opinion. Takes enormous level of patience not to be frustrated or aggravated or get angry, right? But that's all I have for you today. Again, I want to be very respectful of everyone's feelings. It's not my intention to be rude or to accuse people of doing certain things or belonging to certain organizations or other things. But I just question stuff. So let me know what you think about what I told you in the beginning of this video, because it just doesn't sit right with me, why that gesture was there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Again, if you value the content I provide, if it's thought-provoking, maybe inspires you to your own critical thinking, subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up, and let me know in the comments down below. And if you choose to support my work, the best way is by becoming my Patreon supporter. You can join me on Locals as well, or simply donate on PayPal. And with this being said, all the links are down below in the description box. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge, and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video, probably tomorrow. might be another controversial one. I have quite a number of Israeli topics that I might bring to you. But tonight I will be probably following up on Candace Owens' investigation. So I see you in another video. Bye, guys.